And next up at UFC Fight Night, Strickland taking on Hernandez. We've got Melquizael Costa taking on Dan Ige. And I'm going to kick things off here. 50K Ige, man, obviously not necessarily been on the best run. Obviously, we know he struggled with the range. We struggled with the takedown short notice against Diego Lopez. Obviously fighting the best of the best. And obviously, Melquizael Costa, he's ascending the rankings. He's been on a win streak. And he's now getting some tougher opponents here, obviously, now that he's on the cusp at the 14th ranked spot. But Costa, obviously nice kicks. He's got good body lock, trip, takedowns. And I do think that Dan Ige tends to struggle with the rangier fighters. And Melquizael Costa here, 3-inch reach advantage, is definitely going to have it. Sorry, it's 3-inch height advantage, same reach. I think he's definitely going to be able to poke and prod with those kicks. He has a nice teep, nice calf kicks. But I do think that Dan Ige has good boxing. I think he's a live underdog here. I think we keep Costa out of parlays this week, even though he is a respectable favorite. Dan Ige needs the victory. And I always say as well, a desperate fighter is a dangerous fighter. And if you look, even against Pitbull, that was a competitive fight. He's got good boxing. He's still got power in the hands. He's got a nice timed overhand and one-shot power that can change a fight at any moment. We saw that in the Sean Woodson fight. He was able to get on the inside and land that big bomb against Sean Woodson, which, whether you agree with the stoppage or not, it was able to at least convince the judges, the referee, to stop that fight. I do think that Costa could mix in some grappling here as the bigger guy. I do think that he's got good top control and good body locks, but ultimately I'm going to lean to Costa, keep this one at range, kind of land the bigger shots with the kicks. His hands are improving. He's on an ascendancy. And until I see Dan Ige at 34 years old at 145, kind of show me any different, I can't really trust him here. Even if you look at that Sean Woodson performance, if you don't agree with the stoppage and that fight plays out for the rest of the fight, that would be 4 losses in a row for Dan Ige here. So I am going to go with Costa. I don't love it. Probably not going to bet him either. I do think that Costa gets this one done in a slight lean. 50K Ige, though, is always live. You know that. He's got that 50K Ige name for a reason. He's always live for a bonus with that right hand. But, Carlos, who you going with?
Oh, brother. All right. I'm going to go with Ige in this one. And for the reasons that you said is that the range of Costa, I think that's going to be the biggest problem. I also think that the fact that Costa's got a lot more output, because I think Dan loves that boxing style, and he doesn't like to mix anything up, but he also doesn't throw a lot of high volume either, but he does throw some heavy shots and he does attack the body. And I think that going to the body is something that Melquizael Costa is not, used to. But I also think that he's going to throw a lot of kicks because, that reach advantage. He's going to want to keep Ige a distance. And if anyone's going to close the distance, it's going to be Costa. But in that clinch exchange and on the ground, I think Ige's got the advantage there. So I think it'd be best if Costa stays away from there. And like you said, I think Ige could put him out at any time, or at least put him on Queer Street. So I think we're going to go with Ige because he's tough, he's durable. He's tested, and this is going to be Costa's test. And I think that maybe Ige can squeak it out. Just enough work, hurt him to the body, hurt him up top, win those rounds. I'm going to take Ige. I don't think he's going to get a finish. I think Costa's doing too good to be stopped. I think he's also very durable too, but I think Ige is going to get it done.
Mark my words right now, that might be a pick that I'm going to regret later on. And I think Carlos to have the balls to pick Ige, I think he might be right. But we'll see on Saturday. We'll see which guy gets it done.